Today, I'm talking all about paint. Recently, my husband and I were kind of reminiscing on some of the places that we have lived together throughout our relationship. And what was really interesting is we were talking about how no matter what our budget was or what space we were living in, we always created a beautiful space on a very little budget. So today I'm going to talk about all the ways that I have transformed my spaces with paint. So I'm super partial to paint because most of my adult life, I have been on a pretty strict budget. How do you create beautiful spaces when you don't have a ton of money to put into your space? The first way is obviously your walls. If you are stuck in that creamy brownish color, try brightening up your space with a little bit lighter neutral shade. Or if you want to create some moodiness in your space, maybe opt for more of like a velvety, creamy, deeper, moodier tone just to reinvent your space. I personally like to keep my walls light and neutral and add in my coloring through furniture and decor and accessories and things like that. At the end of the day, it's your space, so don't be afraid to have fun with painting your walls. Number 2, kitchen cabinets. This is super impactful, especially if you are living in a dated home where you don't really want to renovate your entire kitchen. Just painting them, even if they're wood. If you don't like your kitchen cabinets, who cares? Just paint them. It'll instantly give it a refresh and you'll feel different in the space, and it will buy you some time until maybe one day you can actually renovate the space. You'd be surprised how much paint can change the look of your kitchen. Similarly to kitchen cabinets, number 3, bathroom vanities. Just by painting your bathroom vanity, you can make a huge difference in the space. In our bathrooms, we restored old dressers as our bathroom vanities and then painted them a pop of color, which has been really fun. So feel free to experiment with this. It's a fun, inexpensive way to kind of renovate a space without spending a ton of money. Number 4, your doors. I would say both interior and exterior. Have you ever driven by a house and you notice that all of a sudden they painted their front door kind of a pop of color and it adds to the drama of the house? Same thing goes for your interior doors inside as well. If you live in a dated home and you have hollow doors that are just one panel, painting them white to give it a refreshed look can not only brighten the space, but kind of modernize it and make it feel a little bit refreshed. Another way to elevate the doors in your space is to paint them the actual same color as your walls, which might sound a little weird, but if you paint your walls, your doors, and your trims all the same color, it has a very intentional, creamy cohesiveness to it. I would recommend, if you do this, having your door and trim in a slightly shinier sheen. Say, for example, your finish of your walls is an eggshell. I would do a satin or a semi-gloss on your trim and your door. Number 5, baseboards and trims. So this is just kind of piggybacking off of painting your doors and trim the same color as the walls. If you have existing trim right now that's maybe dated and wooden, if you're okay with painting over the wood, doing a nice white to brighten up the space, or again, continuing your wall color down and doing the same color on your floor trim or your door trim, just in a different sheen. I think it just looks very elevated, and anytime that you're painting the trim and moldings in your homes, it's definitely going to brighten up the space. And if you're someone that's okay with painting over wood, definitely a big impact for little to no money. Number 6, built-ins or different fixtures that are original to your home. It was really common in older homes where they would do built-in cabinetry, whether it was hutches or built-in bookshelves and stuff in the living spaces. Before you just opt to tear those out because they're not really your design style, I would either paint them or maybe remove the doors or add different trim moldings to kind of create a different aesthetic that might tie in your design style a little bit better. You'd be surprised what the power of paint can do to a built-in structure. Everything doesn't have to be painted white. You could, again, continue your wall color into these built-ins and it will instantly create a more intentional feeling within your home. Number 7, fireplaces. So if you have a fireplace in your home and it's old traditional brick or maybe an older tile, I would recommend painting it. They have a lot of different options. I would research to kind of figure out what your design style is in your own home. I think a nice whitewash on a traditional brick looks really beautiful. If you're going for more of like a modern kind of moody vibe, painting it black with like a wooden mantle for a pop of warm element would be just stunning. Get creative with it, but don't be afraid to paint an existing fireplace. And if you don't like the look of brick, you could cover up the brick too. That's always an option. A budget-friendly way that we addressed our fireplace wall was because our budget wasn't large enough to get a fully tiled or fully bricked fireplace wall, we opted to do a painted stencil. So we essentially bought a stencil that you paint on a brick pattern. And then we went back in and added some texture, touched it up a little bit to make it look a little bit more realistic. And to the naked eye, it gives the illusion of brick and it ties in my color palette and the vibe I was going for personally. It's just a way to get the look for less. Number 8, tile and flooring. So they have so many products these days where you can actually paint your floors or tiling. There's tons of DIY projects. I recommend doing your research though. If you're going to be painting your floors in a high traffic area, you're going to want to make sure that you're prepping the surface and sealing it correctly so that that finish lasts long term. But I've seen a lot of very, very nice looking painted floor, whether it's stenciled on or they just paint it a solid color. It just looks really chic and elevated, and truly nobody would know the difference. Okay, number 9, countertops. They have a lot of products again for this. You can even create a marble look. I've seen really cool videos where people do a base color and then they add in this marbling technique, and the results are just stunning. I think there is a little bit of talent required, I guess. I would definitely research this one. I feel like it could be really messy and probably a little bit more expensive. Definitely do your research before attempting this one, but I think it's such a fun way to elevate the look of your countertops. And number 10, door and cabinet hardwares. Just spray painting your doorknobs or your kitchen hardware or your bathroom hardware can make a huge impact on your space. Rust-Oleum is a great brand. They have so many options. I would just recommend going to your local hardware store and letting them know what you're painting, and they will direct you into the right paint and the right finish for your project. All right, that's all I had for today's video. I hope you found some inspiration and tips and tricks to add a little paint to your home and hopefully transform it on a budget. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.